Hey everyone, hope you're well. I've tried to record this 3 times now, and there's been knocks at the doors and all sorts. So hopefully this will be a clean run. I've had quite a decent week since we last spoke. I got invited to like an invite only sort of group thing I'm in, where it's just for autistic people to chat to each other, and it's been really nice, really uplifting to kind of just chat to people and learn about bits and pieces and just share you know, weird quirks that I didn't really know were a thing. And do you know what? It's just been really nice. It's weird to talk about. It's like I think things have just been. It's just been a decent couple of days. Like first things first, Pokemon Legends Arceus came out Friday, and I've been hammering that. If it's not the best Pokemon game ever, it's the best Pokemon game that's come out in like at least 10 years, and it is just seriously good fun. So I feel like I've been happily playing that. And then I've been chatting in this group, so it's just been talking about. I mean, like, most of them in there are Pokemon fans. Most of them in there like the same sort of things. So that's been nice. But then equally, just sharing. People have been sharing things, and I've been like empathizing with it massively because I understand exactly where they're coming from or exactly what they're talking about, and that's just been helping me feel a little bit more like I talked to you guys about the situation with Ollie at school. People in there just get it, so it's been good. So that's been nice. And then on Friday, I was picking Ollie up from school, and just as I got to the front door, I got a call from the head, and he was like, "We haven't decided what's happening with Oliver next week." And I was a little bit like, "Oh man," thinking he was going to say, let's keep going. It's going well. But actually, when I got in there, he was like, yeah, we can't keep doing the part-time timetable. We need to get him in. And we got into the conversation of, look, he's not really done much work. Apparently this term, so in January, he's only done 8 pieces of work. And I was like, that's really low. And so I had a chat with Ollie. And I was fair with him. Like I didn't tell him off or anything. Like it's not a situation where you would tell him off. It was a proper, we just spoke. I felt like it was a father-son conversation. I said to him, look, I've just had a chat with your head. And I was like, and we're talking about how much work you're getting done. And I said, do you think you're doing as much work as everybody else? And at first he was like, yeah. And I was like, do you think you're doing as much work as the hardest working person in the class? And he was like, no. And I was like, do you think you're doing as much work as the middle people in the class? And he was like, nah. And I said, where do you think you are in the class? And after a little bit, he was like, am I? He was like, am I the most, have I done the least amount of work in the class? And I was like, yes. I said, do you feel like you've done the least amount of work in the class? And he was like, probably, yeah. And I was like, do you want to be the person who's done the least amount of work in the class? And I said, he was like, not really. I said, it's not your fault that you're the last, that you're doing the least. I said, but you can choose to do more. And he was like what? And I said, we had a chat then. We just talked about the fact that, if he wants to go far and do lots, he needs to try and do a bit more. And he was like, I think I will. And he was like, I'll do more maths. And I was like, well, yes, you should do more maths, but you also, the 8 pieces you've done have all been maths. It's the other bits and pieces. And school are finding ways to get him to do them on a computer and stuff like that. Was part of the conversation with the head. He was like, look, we're trying to get him to do other bits and pieces different ways. But a lot of the time, Ollie will say, I already did this sheet, or we've already done this topic. And I'm trying to explain to Oliver that they're either trying to go deeper or they're trying to test he understands it. Because when I taught Oliver the other week about renewable energy, I just kept asking him. I was like, name the 5 types of renewable energy. And he would just rattle them off: hydro, geothermal, bio energy, wind energy, and the other one was solar, I think, if I didn't already say that. And he just rattles, he can rattle them off now. And he knows what they're at. And I'm like, what's the pros and cons? And he'll tell me about it. But I said to him, that's what the sheets are supposed to do. And that's what I probably need to keep doing with other things, really. But talking to him about it, I mean, Monday went well. He was in all day. He was a bit miffed because he wants to come home. And this was the same problem as before. He doesn't want to be in all day. He doesn't see the point. And I said that to the head. He doesn't see the point in being in all day. He liked being at home. And I don't want that to become a thing. And the head accepted that we can't keep doing the same half days for 3 weeks at a time and so forth. And he was like, look, we've got 2 weeks now. At the end, on the 10th, we've got our meeting to talk about how the 2 weeks have gone, how the term's gone, what the plan is for next term, how much funding they need for full-time timetables and stuff. And we've got a lot of evidence, so it feels like they should definitely get that. I've said to you before, the problem we're in is they've already got the full-time TA. She's already there. They did say they've had some minor problems with Ollie getting upset and lashing a bit, but they've generally said he's getting quite mature, and it just feels like it's going all right. He's in a good place because me being the plonker I am, I ordered my game to come Friday. I ordered it in September, and they emailed me saying it wasn't coming till Saturday. So I was just really annoyed because my plan was to stream it and review it on the podcast, and I didn't want to get spoilers on it. So after a lot of umming and ahhing and being coerced by Kev and Pab, I ended up buying it on Amazon because I got some Amazon vouchers. So I bought it on Amazon, but I also had a rant at Amazon and said, look, this isn't coming till Saturday. Um, it should have come Friday. I ordered it months ago. So they gave me a big sort of apology voucher. And so I was like, right, okay, I'm going to keep the order coming because I get this little Pokeball that's there and a little tin that's somewhere down here. Oh, I think that's it on the shelf. But I also get a copy for Ollie then. So he was getting his haircut Saturday, and I said to him, "Look, you're getting your haircut." He's like, "I don't want my haircut," and his hair's like down to here and an absolute mess, and it's like going over his eyes. And he's like, "I don't want a haircut." And we're like, "Look, you look like a caveman. You need a haircut." So I said to him, "Look, you get your haircut, and when you get home, at some point in the afternoon, you will receive a copy of Legends Arceus." And he was like, "I'll go for a haircut." So we went thinking it was going to be absolutely a disaster, and when we got there, he was very anxious, like he buried himself into my arm and I was hugging him. I had my arm around him and he was getting really upset and I could feel his heart really racing. And I said, don't worry about it. You've had a haircut before. You're just going to sit in the chair. It's going to be absolutely fine. Like, don't worry. And then I think Ben was feeling the tension. So he was getting a bit bouncy. So we were asked who was going to go first. He was like, I want Ben to go first. I was like, it's probably best for you to go first so you don't spend more time worrying about it. So he sat in the chair. And for the whole thing, he was just chatting away to the lady, telling her he didn't like getting his hair cut. He was worried about her slipping and stabbing him in the eye. And she was saying, I've been doing this for 26 years and I've never once stabbed someone in the eye. And he's like, but what if I was just a really, really unlucky person? And he carried this conversation on while the next person was in the seat, and I'm going, "You're all right, mate. She's been doing it for 25 years. She's not going to stab you." But after it, he felt really good. He was like, "Right, I've had a great experience. It didn't go wrong." And then his game came later that evening, and he has been hammering it since. And like me, he absolutely loves it. Bless him, he has wanted to tell me everything, and I'm like, Ollie, I'm sorry, mate. I don't want to be spoiled. Please don't tell me. Like, there's all these brand new Pokemon in it that you've never seen before, and he wants to be like, Dad, come look at this. And I'm like, you're further than me because I'm streaming it. I'm only playing it at 3 hours at a time on the internet. He's just hammering his way through it, and so I think I need to suck it up. I might have to read spoilers, and now I've played it enough. I've seen a few new Pokemon. I'm like, maybe I just need to let him talk to me because I think there's a lot there. Like when I'd seen some last night that I this morning went and spoke to him about. We had a good chat about it, and that's been quite fun. But I do feel like I need to do it on his terms and grow up a little bit, maybe. But I did put a lot of effort into avoiding being spoilt, and I hadn't really planned for him to play it and all of that. It's worked out nicely for him. I feel like it's put us both in a nice place because we're both just geeking out on our interests and being able to share it with each other, which has been cool. I think other than that, we've got Emily off sick today. She's apparently got a headache and feels sick, but all I can hear is her laughing upstairs, and I'm like, okay, you were feeling really rough this morning, but we'll see. I think I said to her, you just feeling a bit stressed or something? She's like, I don't think so. I've just got a bug. And she's like, I don't know. Sometimes you just need days, don't you? And I'm like, all right, I'm not going to argue. If this becomes a thing, then obviously there's something else going on. But when she said it, I was like, you don't seem unwell. It wasn't me that decided it; it was Claire. But I'll take it. I'll take it as given at this point. We'll see what happens. Ben suddenly developed the ability to have nightmares, which this is the kind of thing. I don't know if it must happen earlier than this. I remember when Emily was little, when she first felt guilt. And she was like, I can't stop thinking about something I did wrong. And she was like quite young at the time. And I looked it up and apparently it was like, she was bang on exactly I don't know what the age was, but let's say it was like 3 years and 3 months. So 39 months old. If that was the date, that's what it said on this chart. And I was like, my God, this is like accurate as hell. Like her brain has just gone plop, guilt. There you go. But Ben came in, he was like, I just had a horrible dream. I fell down a hole and died. And we're like, what? And he was just, bless him, he was getting all panicked and telling Claire about this horrible nightmare he'd had. And now he keeps having these little nightmares. And we're like, are you okay? It's all right. And they're always random things he's probably seen on TV. But it's like it's developed out of nowhere. So our sleep's completely shot because he keeps coming in, kicking us all night. My sleep's already pretty shot. Like I'll go to bed at midnight and I'll lay there till 1:30 going. just not getting to sleep. And I've tried like not having caffeine. I've tried all sorts of things. It's not working. I don't know. I think it's just my brain. But I am trying different things to not like. I'm trying to every time I start thinking something negative, I try and just go and clear my head, and it seems to be working quite nicely. I used to pick up my phone and start flicking through, but I'm not doing that either. I'm trying to focus on just not letting myself wander or distract or stay up later and all of that. So we'll see what happens there. But I desperately need to sort my sleep out. I'm hoping because from Friday I'm off for 10 days of work, so that'll be 14. What would that be now? That'll be 16 days in a row that I'm not at work. And my word, I cannot wait. The kids are off for the second week. I think Claire's off as well. But I can't wait to just have a week where I'm just doing what I do. I think I said before, if I didn't say it on here, I said it somewhere. My plan is to try and live like the ideal sheepdog life of I'm just going to get up, I'm going to do a vlog, I'm going to play a game, I might record a game or two. I'm just thinking about little things I can do. I'm going to stream in the evenings, I'm going to write, because that's one of the things in this group I was in, that there are creatives in there and they're all talking about their work in progresses, and I was chatting about one of mine and I was like, I don't even know whether mine works. I was like, I'm pretty sure my file corrupted when my Mac broke, and they convinced me in the end I needed to check it out. I was like, I'll check it tomorrow. And then I was winding myself up so much, I got up at like 11:30 from my sofa and came in here, and I was like downloading the file. When I opened it and it worked, I was like, yes. And I was like, okay, right. I'm about 25,000 words from the end. I've got a week off coming up. I could spend some time adding to that, get it finished. Now I know there's all these creatives there who can give me advice and guidance. It'll be good. So yeah, I just feel like I've had it's been a weird one because I didn't expect any of this. I didn't expect to wake up one day, start playing a game and be happier, but also just joining a group of people that I don't know any of them. You know, one person I know in there who invited me because they were talking about it, but I joined it and I was like, right, okay, we're chatting loads in here, and it's just been really nice. It's been really helpful. It has. Like I can't really describe it. I think part of me feels different as well. Normally I feel quite low at this point because I'm due my injection tomorrow, and don't get me wrong, I am knackered. Like my energy is at a flat level. I always have my injection every 3 months. It's due tomorrow morning. I'm having it at 9:10, and when I have that by like midday I'll go whoo, and then I'll feel human again. And normally at this point I'm feeling tired, but I'm also feeling really downbeat. But actually I've been venting a bit. I'll be talking to Claire about. I mean, work was annoying me earlier. I was having a bit of a rant at Claire. I was going around the bloody kitchen like in a Godzilla movie when they're running around. Godzilla doesn't necessarily eat people, does it? It just fires balls out of people. I was like one of these monsters, just picking people up and eating them. I was just grabbing food. Like, I'll have that bag of crisps. I'll have that biscuit. I'll have that piece of bread. I'll have, just raw stupid stuff. And then, at the end of it, I was like, right, okay, that's good. But I just feel like normally I'd be in a proper misery mood before the jab, and I feel pretty decent. It's just I feel how it is. I think stuff's just progressing. It's cracking on, and it's nice to do. I feel like my vlog's going a real wave because it all depends on external factors, and I'm hoping that this will. You can't see my hand doing that off the screen, I realise, but I feel like right now we're on an upward nice bit. We just got to see how these 10 days go. I think the school are quite happy to just try and do everything they can to make it go well. But if anything goes wrong, then at least they've got it evidenced ready for the meeting. In the meeting, I'm going to raise the kind of fact that he can't do half days anymore. I feel he shouldn't, or at least he shouldn't do them unless it's like the first day back is a bit of a. We need to make that quicker and better and in, and they need to be making provision for him to be in properly. But I feel like we're in a pretty good place. I feel like Claire and I have been really transparent about things, just talking really better about it. Not transparent, that's the wrong word. We've been communicating about it very well, which is good. It's been helpful. And we took the kids out and we were being very trying to make sure we were understanding the situation because we sometimes things happen, don't they? Like one of us tells Ollie one thing and the other says the opposite, and Ollie's like, what do I do? We were trying really hard to just get it right. And it just feels like it's slipping into place a bit. I think the only question we've got at the moment, which we need, do you know what? In fact, you guys might be able to help on, and this will be a test of how many people get to the end. We need to figure out a holiday plan to where we're going to go on holiday, what we're going to do as a family, that kind of thing. My problem is I don't want to drag the children to Cornwall again and go through the stress of the nighttime drive and then have a week where so when we got to the place we were staying, it was really nice, but I felt like we were constantly worrying that we were, the children would get, if Ollie got upset or whatever, if we were telling Ben to slow down or whatever, that people were just hearing us constantly being like, Ben, calm it down, Ollie, this, you know. But also, it's very overstimulating and it causes loads of issues for me and Ollie. And so I said to Claire, I want to go somewhere, but I don't want to spend a week just stressing out. I don't want to spend a week stressing out because the kids are overstimulated or understimulated, or there's a cliff edge down the road. I'm convinced that one of them's going to roll off or whatever. Every time we go somewhere, there's always these random things that stress us out, and it might not necessarily. We went camping once, and there was literally a cliff edge, like half a field away from our tent, and I just kept thinking they're going to go over it, like. You could have easily, I could have kicked a ball from our tent and it would have gone over the edge of the cliff. It was so, I can't believe they built a campsite on a cliff edge, and I can't believe we stayed there. But stuff like that just gets in your head, doesn't it? And I spent the whole time in Cornwall worrying we were going to be too noisy or whatever. I mean, I think I mentioned at the time we weren't the noisiest people by far. There were people getting it on really loudly one night. There were people having an argument one night, and we were just like, okay, we can do what we want. But this was like 4 nights in, so nights 5 and 6 we were just ourselves. But the first 4 nights we were like cowering in silence. It was a very yeah. But Claire's there, bless her, going, foot to the metal. Let's go to, let's just get a house somewhere and stay there and go to loads of places, and we can spend a day at the beach. I hate the beach normally. We can go to this place, we can go to that place, and I'm like, no, that sounds horrible, and it sounds like it's just going to send me and Ollie off the wall, and we need to come up with a middle ground. I said to her, ideally, I'd need to find some sort of place that's got a better plan for Ollie that he could, because when we used to go on holidays, Emily would go and play at the front on the stage stuff, the evening entertainment or whatever, and Ollie will do some of that, but he also won't if it's loud, and there's never any opportunity to be like, right, they're parked there, we're going to do this, it's going to be completely chilled, because you have to be on all the time. So I said to her, at home, there are moments where he's upstairs or Ben's doing, playing Lego or something, and I'm completely switched off and I'm not engaged, and I'll engage when they make a noise, Like if I can see them, it's fine. But when we're on holiday, it's like, right, where are you? What are you doing? What are you, on holiday, it's more work. And I was like, there's just not an answer. And, it's frustrating because, like, I'm not saying I don't want the responsibility of caring for my own children. I'm saying if you're asking me to go somewhere for a week, somewhere strange, somewhere new, that's already going to be hard. And then watching the children for a week, even more than normal, because you literally can't take your eyes off them until they're asleep, is going to be ridiculous. Should we be rushing to do that? Because, like I came back from Cornwall very knackered, very knackered. Like going on holiday to burn myself out is not my idea of a good time, and they're so expensive. Like we looked at forest holidays and they were a couple of grand. We looked at centre parks and they were even more. And it's just like, do I really want to be spending over a month's wages to just burn out? Not really. But equally, I understand we all need a holiday, and it's just a weird one. I don't know what to do, because I don't even want to, like we joked, like we went to America, we took Claire's mum along, and Claire's mum was like, I don't want to just be your babysitter for 2 weeks. And there were times where to be fair, the main time she took the kids, we went to the shops. We went shopping to get alcohol and stuff. And it wasn't particularly chilling. It was just God, I remember on that holiday, the kids are in the swimming pool and I'm trying to chill out and have a nice bloody shower, and I remember letting my guard down. I'm in the shower, I'm chilled out, I know the kids are with 2 adults, and then I heard screaming. I nearly ran out starkers. I managed to pull some shorts on because both Ollie and Emily had gone in the deep end of the pool, and Oliver panicked, grabbed Emily and pulled them both under, and she couldn't swim back up. And they were panicking, and I just heard screaming like something had happened. And I was like, like trying to get dressed and run out the door because I could just hear them. But by the time I got there, like the nan had pulled them out, and they were absolutely fine other than tearful. But that messes with you a little bit, doesn't it? Because then you're like, right, I let my guard down for like that millisecond in another room, completely unrelated, and that happened. So, yeah. I don't think holidays are particularly my best scenario, my best bet. Claire talked to me about maybe at some point we should send the kids to parents and go away somewhere for like a weekend or whatever, which sounds good. But I did point out that last time we did that, we went to London. I basically was a mess. It wasn't particularly great either. We had fun, but I think I probably needed to get it out. But it just came out in a weird way. So again, I'm like, right, we need to make sure we understand the situation better, and fix it. But yeah, it's just a pain. I don't know how families do it really. How do you do it? I know talking to like Kevin and Anna, for example, they don't particularly do it that often, and when they do, it's a big deal and it's a hard deal, and they have plenty of stories similar to our stories. So bless them, they're in exactly the same boat. It's just, it feels like there should be like autism centre parks, but then as I said to Claire, it would just cost like 15 grand because the demand would be so high, and then no, they got you over a barrel and you're the audience and it's very catered. It would cost ridiculous amounts, so that's not feasible. But yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll figure it out. We'll plan something to a T and it will happen. It's just a little bit of me doesn't want to. A little bit of me wants to just stay in my bubble because I'm probably still partially in hermit mode. I'm getting better. We went to the park and that was fun. We went to the hairdressers. That was weird, but it was fine. She, as I said, Claire's making sure I do stuff, and I'm in and out, skirting it. We'll see what happens. But yeah, all in all, positive update. Let me know how you're getting on. How's your week gone? How you all feeling? How'd your weekend go? And are you enjoying Legends Arceus? It's fantastic. If you haven't got it and you're on the fence, or you're a Pokemon fan, get it. If you've never played a Pokemon game before, this is very, very, very good. But it is very different. Therefore, you might start at a peak that makes other games not look as good, but I really enjoy them. I really enjoy this one. This has been amazing. So yeah, happy Sheepdog. I'm going to wrap up there because I need to get back to work. So I'll catch you all soon. Hope you've had a good week. And yeah, cheers for watching. Bye-bye.